It is Dating Amber, in which we head back to the mid-90s and a small town in Ireland that's not exactly a hotbed of LGBT acceptance, as the nuns teaching sex education, I suppose we'll call it, point out. That's a problem for school kids like Amber, played by Lola Pettigrew, who's still in the closet but knows that that closet is marked lesbian, and also for Eddie, Fionn O'Shea, who's not ready to admit to anyone that he's gay, even to himself. In an effort to head off the playground taunts, Amber suggests that she and Eddie start a fake relationship, although the exact level of the fakeness proves something of a challenge for the confused Eddie, particularly after some trips to the more welcoming big city where Amber finds someone that she'd want to have a real relationship with. The shock of this could have Eddie do something quite silly and continue to deny his sexuality, but thankfully this is an easygoing comedy and not a gritty study of depression, so that's headed off swiftly and we could all head into a new millennium in harmony. Well, perhaps not, but even with current headwinds, I think we can say that society these days is a little more accepting, 25 years after this is set, although I expect that school kids remain as horrible to each other now as they do in Dating Amber. Refreshingly, this is a film which shows a fairly realistic, low level of horribleness, more or less in line with what I remember my contemporaneous schooling being like, as opposed to the American version shown in film, which more often seem like a particularly harrowing episode of Oz. Dating Amber is a consistently gently amusing coming-of-age tale with likeable, sympathetic performances from Pettigrew O'Shea and highly capable support from the likes of Sharon Horgan and Barry Ward. Its only real problem is one that is barely worth caring about, that being that if, like us, you're old enough to have seen this rodeo a few dozen times before, there's not that much new here, with perhaps the exception of location. However, that's not stopped Check notes every rom-com in the history of film, so I don't see why that should stop this film. It's unchallenging stuff, perhaps, but it is greatly enjoyable nonetheless. It's a fun little romp, not particularly demanding of you, and it's in many ways a perfect fit for these times. Nothing earth-shaking, but it's pretty funny, and that's pretty much all you can ask for this kind of thing. Give it a bash.
We'll take it.
Yes.
Levity on tap. I have not seen this film. I was not even aware of its existence until you typed it into a Slack channel a couple of nights ago, Scott. So I have nothing to add. I have nothing to add whatsoever.